Welcome to hole number 1 of the Halloween tournament. Now, setting up here with a Titan ball and an extra mile. Going to play 2 top, 2 right. And you'll notice that I'm going to be at the plus 4 yard mark here with an extra mile level 6. And I got that top right of the yellow ring just touching the rough. Now, and you also please do pay attention that that ball guide is actually about 3 to 4 squares to the right of the hole because that green does slope quite a bit from right to left. It's kind of going downhill there. And you're just going to push up about 1 ring here in this kind of wind. Other than that, hit perfect, and this one should end up somewhere nicely on the green. That's really what you can expect. There's going to be some drops here for absolute certain, and if you miss the green, you're still going to have a short wedge. Hole number 2, I think this part 3, most people are going to want to play the rough bump here. I'm really only going to play with about 0.3 bars of left spin. I mean, you could play this with 0 spin depending on the wind. I've got the sniper level 8 and a marlin ball. That power 0 is important. We are pretty close to the min line here, if I'm not mistaken, but it's still absolutely a very makeable shot. You could bounce it on the fairway just to the right of this landing position and come up with a little bit of a shot that way. But this is, I think, the most consistent way to get that drop. So -10 mid, like I said, clean adjustment. Just make sure you hit perfect here. But otherwise, I think there's going to be some real great scoring opportunities in this tournament. So many shots that we can drop. So hopefully we're going to get plenty of booms. Let's go. Hole number 3, definitely worth it to bring a Kingmaker here. I've also got the extra mile. Doesn't have to be a level 7. You can play this literally with an EM6 or even less. Gonna play 4.5 top, 3 bars of right spin. And if you don't have the 3 bars of right spin, you're gonna add a tiny little bit of right curl. So all of that, we've got about half that red ring in the rough and just sort of setting it up so that the second bounces cleanly onto the next fairway. All in all, 10% max adjustment, and I just hit here a clean, perfect ball. This is literally one of my favorite par 5s in the game, and I'm so happy to be playing the original hole locations because I think for this hole, it's so much better than anything new that they've come up with. So second shot here, we're going to be playing it with the sniper, and we're going to use about 2.2 bars of top spin, 3 bars of left spin, and we're going to have the top left of that red ring just about touching the rough. You'll notice there's a beautiful little funnel here. So kind of wiggle left, wiggle right, figure it out. Should be just fine. And I'm going to play this shot at -10% mid elevation. Now, that's just the way the shot plays. It's not because it's physically uphill. As you can see, it looks to be downhill, in fact. But this one, it's just such a dramatic, beautiful roll if you can get it to go. And I sure hope you can start your tournament with 3 drops in a row because that's going to really put you in a wonderful position in any rookie bracket. Let's go. Look at this shot. Okay, so hole 4, par 4, we're back on the Glades course here. I'm going to be playing the left-hand side. There is ways to get this one to the green if you've got big clubs and big balls, as you can see. But the average player here, we're going to play 4.5 top spin, 1 bar of right spin, and just setting it up with that top of the yellow ring. Once again, just touching the rough. We're going to play a clean 10% max adjustment shot here. Nothing crazy. Just a clean, easy shot to set us up for a beautiful approach. See that old skeleton hand? I really think that Playdemic needs to bring back the awesome tees. And that's one of the reasons I really wanted to show this old footage, because I don't think you're going to see that too many other places. Yeah, I've been around a while in this game, and I love it every minute. Second shot here with the backbone, but you can bring whatever long iron you've got. If you've got a beautiful grizzly or something like that, hey, don't worry about it. The fairway before the green here is very bumpy. It's kind of ugly. Now, I know we're very close to min distance here. You might want to shorten up that drive a little tiny bit, but I'm going to play here 4.5 back. We're going to land directly on the fringe. You could certainly play this one to bounce on the green if you have more backspin to work with, but this one tends to work out very, very nicely. We're going to play, like I said, 4.5 back, 10% minimum distance on this adjustment. Not a lot to adjust here, just a wee little bit. Come on, wee little bit. Let's go, Baldy. There we go, looking good. And that's it. This is another awesome opportunity for a drop. I mean, could we start the tournament with 4 drops in a row? I think so. I know so. And I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll be playing, I know I'll be playing Master in this tournament, but you can Master this course. Let's go. Hole number 5, first thing we're going to show you is this bounce shot on the left-hand side. 4 back, 1 left with a backbone and a navigator. We're going to have that red ring just about touching nicely on the rough, and that second bounce to be on the fringe, or just at the front of the fringe if you want to be extra specific, which I recommend trying to do. 10% mid-distance adjustment here, or mid-elevation, I should say. Same idea. You know what I mean. 10% mid. Clean pull. Now, pushing this one, keep that in mind. We're not really pulling, we're pushing this adjustment because you're on a hill. It's always good to kind of push up the hill. You can sort of see the rings a lot better, and I think you get a more accurate adjustment that way. Try to keep the drop streak alive here. Let's see what we can do with this little bounce shot. Hole 5, once again, I know you want to play the rough bump. I'm going to play here with the Goliath and a Marlin ball here. You can play any long iron you like, except I love the fact that the Goliath has very few rings to pull, especially in a situation like this. 0.8 bars of backspin, 1 bar of left spin, and you'll see here, I've kind of got that green ring near the top of the rough, and we're going to have that ball guide aiming directly towards the hole. Now, you might have a little more ball guide than me to work with, but this is still a very viable shot. Not a big fan of playing this shot if you have to pull down into the bunker, but you can work with it. It's possible. Can we get another drop? Can we get another boom? Get in the hole. Let's go. Hole number 6, not really going for distance here. However, you can if you need to. 3.8 top or so, 3 bars of right spin with a quarterback and a katana. Make sure not to set this one up too close to the top of the rough, or excuse me, well, to the top of the rough, but the top of the fairway, because it kind of slopes down quite aggressively. And if you hit that on the down slope, there is a chance that you could get this thing to go down into the water or the rough. We really don't want that to happen. So tiny little bit of right curl, kind of outer wall right curl. I think I gave it a couple clicks of overpower, but you really don't need to do that. Bounces nicely, rolling down here. That bunker is in play on the left-hand side, so just stay away from it. Be aware, you don't need to go over there. Second shot with the sniper. We're going to play 0.5 bars of top spin, 3 bars of right spin. We're going to play a rough bump here. Now, you could certainly, once again, play a bounce shot on this fairway. By all means, I know you want to. And I know you see all those bars of side spin, and you're like, but Matt, what the hell is that? That's the way the game used to be, okay? But nothing changes. It's the same ball, the same clubs. You're just going to play it like that. Half top, 3 right. Going to play a rough bump here, about 0% max. Now, this one can change, like they all can, depending on the course setup. But, you know, this one, as you can see, it's a great opportunity. I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I think the scores are going to be incredible. You're like, but we hit great. What about the drop streak? I thought that was important. It is important. Sometimes you got to get a little bit lucky. We'll figure it out. Come on now, let's go. Hole number 7, this par 4, we're going to start with the conservative approach. Navigator and an extra mile here, 4.5 top and about a half a bar of right spin. You see how I'm going to bounce on this first fairway and just roll it nicely down to the second fairway. In most situations, this is how I would choose to play this shot. 10% max adjustment here. So give it a clean little bolt. And then nothing crazy, no overpower. Well, a little bit of circle break overpower, but no like aggressive overpower. I'll show you that in the next example. And just like I said, you're going to bounce it here on the first fairway, roll it down beautifully there. Keep it away from that bunker, guys. You'll still reach the green. You'll save your birdie. But this one can give you still a very, very nice look. Second shot here. I'm going to play it with the Goliath this time. Backbone, Goliath. You know, I kind of interchange them in rookie. And I'm going to use about 3.8 bars of backspin and about a half a bar of right spin here. We are very, very close to the min distance here. You might just choose to play that with the max distance short iron. I think I might these days, so keep that in mind. You know, if you've got a bit of top spin, maybe you have to use a Hornet or something, but that's absolutely viable. 10% min. Again, with the Goliath, there's not many rings to pull, so you don't need to be that far away from the min line. And we're just going to line it up, hit that beautiful perfect ball. I think this one might miss. Just a spoiler. I'm just kidding. Come on, get in the hole. Okay, so hole 7, I know you want to send it. I know, all right? So make sure you bring a wind 0 ball. I know I have a Zerk there, but I don't think that will be enough. It might be, but this one here, I'm going to play 4.5 top, no side spin. And we're just going to stretch this one out and try to get it to land on the second fairway and get it as close to the green as possible. We're going to make our adjustment, 10% max here. And then I do, in fact, push this one back up to to max distance, which is going to give a shaky needle. You got to be confident for a shot like this, but I know you can do it. I believe in you. Hit your perfect. Come on. There we go. Come on. Is he ever going to do it? Let's go. Get down there. Rolling ball. Roll, roll, roll. Well, it's got to bounce first. There we go. See, now there's a lot of room to work there. So a berserker might just be fine to get this one pretty darn close. Now, you'll see how close we are these days with an Endbringer. We're not going to miss that shot. However, you can see I'm kind of messing around here, trying to line it up. This hole can be a little bit difficult. Basically, I'm foreshadowing disaster, okay? But it's only an Endbringer 2. So I think that this one, you guys have this one covered. I know you do. So I set it up. I try my adjustment. 15 minutes is what I'm playing here because I have the low level Endbringer. However, I would normally play 20, of course. Perfect away. However, sometimes, play damn it. What you doing to me? But we still got to drop on hole 7, right? Hole number 8. This is such an old school par 3. I just love even seeing it here. Setting up with the sniper and a Marlin ball. Gonna have the top left of the yellow ring sort of touching the top of the rough there, and using like just about 1 bar of tops to maybe kind of in the 0.9 region, something like that, but give or take, that's gonna set you up in a very, very nice way. You can see that second bounce is about like 1 ring or so, depending how wide your rings are, from the front of the fringe. And we're basically just gonna eyeball it and try to get it there as nicely as we can. Sniper 7, and you get a much nicer ball guide. So keep that in mind. Doing the best we can here. Line it up. Get you perfect. You know you want to. This is a very, very good opportunity. Some people do play a rough bump to that last fairway and play it up like that. But this one has always treated me well. I think it'll treat you well too. Good luck. Hole number 9, setting up on the left-hand side here. EM and a Zerk. We're going to play 4.5 top, 2 bars of right spin, and we're going to have that red ring just touching the rough on the right-hand side. 10% max on the adjustment here. 10% max. And I'm going to push up about 1 ring. Now, be careful with this push-up here. Depending on your wind, it's going to get you pretty darn close to the fairway. And I don't really remember why I'm playing a Zerk here. I'm pretty sure we could come up with something with the power 3 ball as well. But knowing me, when this footage was taken, I really wasn't too keen on much overpower, trying to keep things as easy and straightforward as possible. So, hey, that's what I'm going to suggest here to you. But you can always play this hole as you see fit, especially if you have a high level EM. Second shot with the long iron. Going to go with the Goliath here. We're very close to that mid-distance range. And I think I played this with like 0 spin. And I would recommend, I think, at least adding a little bit of backspin, maybe like half a bar, 1 bar, just to slow it down, help control the shot a little bit. But hey, when you're confident your shot's going to be online, sometimes you just want to not worry about it. I'd say the green ring is touching the rough here. Again, you could probably set this up a little bit more to the right, add a tiny bit of left spin, and keep yourself in a safe position. But sometimes I just like to live on the edge. So, guys, thank you for watching the video. Good luck in the Halloween tournament. And, hey, I hope you get yourself plenty of booms. Get the hole at the pin. Good luck to you guys. Thank you.